Today in history, David Livingstone, found by Henry M. Stanley at Ujiji. Stanley was sent to find Livingstone after the missionary had been out of contact for several years. The meeting took place in Ujiji, a town on Lake Tanganyika in modern-day Tanzania. The famous greeting, Stanley is famously reported to have said, "Dr. Livingstone, I presume," to which Livingstone reportedly replied yes. The authenticity of the exact quote is debated because the relevant pages in Stanley's diary were removed, and some believe it may have been embellished for his stories. After the discovery, Stanley stayed with Livingstone for a time, assisting him before eventually returning to Zanzibar in 1872. Court's application to strike off Nelson Mandela's attorney registration. The applicants, the Incorporated Law Society, Transvaal. The application was based on Mandela's criminal conviction for advocating and encouraging the disobeying of laws, specifically the apartheid-era pass laws, during the Defiant campaign. The Law Society argued that this made him unfit to remain in the legal profession. In the case of Incorporated Law Society, Transvaal, Mandela 1954 3 SA 102T, the court dismissed the application. The presiding judge, Rambotom J., ruled that the court function was not to punish an attorney again for a crime for which he had already been convicted and sentenced. To the court's reasoning, the court held that a person should only be struck from the role if their conduct showed they were unworthy to remain in an honorable profession. The judge stated that nothing Mandela had done reflected upon his character as a dishonest or dishonorable person, but rather that he was motivated by the pursuit of justice against discriminatory laws. Battle of Quifangondo, Angola, was known as Battle of Death Road in Kigongo, was fought on this day in 1975 near the strategic settlement of Quifangondo, Luanda province, between the People's Armed Forces of Liberation of Angola, Armed Wing of the People's Movement for the Liberation of Angola, and the National Liberation Army of Angola, Armed Wing of the National Liberation Front of Angola. The engagement marked the first major deployment of rocket artillery in the Angolan Civil War, as well as the last serious attempt by ELNA forces to seize Luanda, the Angolan capital. It occurred on the last day of Portuguese colonial rule in the country, which formally received independence only years later. To some few observances, World Science Day for Peace and Development, to emphasize the important role of science in daily life and to engage the wider public in debate on emerging scientific issues, to also promote national and international solidarity for science. The day involves mobilizing partners like scientific institutions, media, and NGOs to host events and activities that highlight science contributions and address global challenges. To strengthen public awareness of science for peaceful and sustainable societies, renew commitment to using science for societal benefits, and raise support for scientific endeavors. Lastly, International Accounting Day, to celebrate and show appreciation for accountants and their contributions to financial world. Accountants are crucial for financial stability, regulatory compliance, and strategic financial advice, acting as guardians of financial stability and help manage risk. And that's all for today on Today in History, some observances, live on Ghana Talks, the breakfast show.